Real people, real opinions.
Real Talk Radio. The multi-award winning Niall Boylan Show.
Ireland's classic hits.
Do you believe there's a stigma attached to tattoos? And if there was two people going for a job and one has nicely dressed in a suit, tie and everything else, and equally qualified as the other one who had pink hair and earlobe piercings and tattoos up their neck, which one would you give the job to? Bernie, you're on Ireland's Classic Hits Radio. How you doing, Bernie?
I'm grand, Niall. How are you?
I'm good. Not a bother, Bernie.
Karen moved into down there. Has Karen moved into the studio with you now?
Oh, yeah. She's moved in, yeah. We've a bed down. We've a bed downstairs. That's why sometimes I'm a bit late back from the ad break. You know what I mean? Because we go down for a quick cuddle.
Anyway, I'm glad to hear it. Tattoos, right? So if they're equally qualified, back in my day, you know, there was horrendous tattoos.
Mm. That was because they were those kind of old style tattoos, weren't they? Sorry, John. Do me a favour, John. I'm sorry, Bernie. I do apologise. You have to hold on for 2 seconds. I just have to get John to reset something for you there, and then we shall have you straight back on the air. All right? I do apologise for that. Sorry. Yes, and the reason we're talking about it was because of that article where the girl who was working in a supermarket went to help somebody. And when she went to help them, the girl noticed, you know, because she was reaching for something from the top shelf, she noticed the girl had tattoos. And she said, it's disgraceful. You shouldn't have tattoos while you're helping the general public in a shop. And she kind of said, well, that's fine then if you don't want my help because I have tattoos. I'll put the item back up on the top shelf again. And that's exactly what she did. She put the item back up on the top shelf and said, well, feck you. Have I lost Bernie altogether? I need to get Bernie back. We love her to bits. Anyway, all right. We'll get Bernie back in a second. So, I mean, look, if you go back to the old days, of course, of tattoos, and Bernie is right, there was a different attitude towards tattoos in those days because it was generally men had them, not women. I mean, if you go back 30 or 40 years ago, it was generally just men. And I have Bernie back. It would have been generally just men back in the old days, Bernie, that had tattoos.
That's right. I didn't see many women. I didn't see any women in my era walking around with any tattoos that I recall. Mm-hmm. And the men, it was very crude. It was like on their hands. It was done, you know, it looked like a compass, and they put in the ink. However, I have to this time in life, I see an awful lot of people, young and old, walking around with tattoos, and some of them are very pretty, but I don't like the ones on people's faces.
No.
And I think it's very disfiguring, and I don't think they're thinking forward a time when, you know, the wrinkles set in and the sunburn, a couple of doses of the farmer's tan isn't going to make those tattoos.
And age, by the way, age is not going to make them look pretty. I mean, when I see girls, I seen a girl one day and she had a low-cut top on and she was a pretty girl, but she had this big rose tattooed on her chest and down onto her breasts, right? And I said, okay, some guys might find that attractive now. And she was a pretty girl. But I said, when she's in her 50s and 60s and gravity kicks in and skin starts getting a little bit looser, it's going to look horrendous.
Yeah, and I don't think I know they're of the time, and it's statement, and you're making it, you know, this is me, I'm showing you me to the world, I like this tattoo, and that's fine, but they're not thinking ahead. Like my son has tattoos on his legs, on his arms, and the latest one he got was a Mayo tattoo.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, and he's from Dublin. But anyway, that's his.
There's a whole story to that, is there? Why did he get a Mayo tattoo if he's from Dublin?
He's married a lovely Mayo girl, and she said, "You're always losing the Mayo," because every time she comes here, I keep losing the Mayo flag. I have it buried somewhere. And so she said, "You keep losing it. Now your son's tattooed. You'd never forget." But anyway, but I know in time, like he's very fair-skinned, and you know already I can see they begin to lighten up a bit, and he's got burnt a few times, and they don't look right on red skin, I have to say, and freckles.
No, they don't. Irish skin doesn't hold the tattoo well. It doesn't.
No, they don't.
But would you judge somebody if you? You know, like, if you went into a hotel and front of shop, you know, at the desk in a posh 5-star hotel, you know, somebody was there and they had pink hair and a tattoo up their neck or on their face, would you judge them?
Do you know what? Honestly, in the beginning when I started seeing this, I was nervous. However, I have moved past that, hopefully now, and I've met the nicest of people, and just because they have pink hair and a couple of tattoos, they're still lovely people. So you see beyond the tattoo. I don't see it anymore. In the beginning when we all saw them coming out, you know, for the first time, people were really, beginning to show tattoos. I was kind of nervous because it always came with a stigma attached from my time. However, I've met the nicest of young people in middle age, all sorts of people who are wearing them, and they've nothing but been nice to me. They're not the old. Remember, there was a stigma attached to tattoos.
Yes, yeah.
That's not there anymore.
Yeah, but the statistics show us now that the industry for removing tattoos is more popular than the industry for putting them on in the first place.
But so this is my point. Like, we all think making a statement, like, you could better off putting it on with an eyebrow pencil or a mascara.
Why not
just
buy a canvas and a paintbrush if you want to do something, make a statement? Why do it on your body?
You see, this is the new. You see, we're a bit. I'm not going to say, but remember years ago it was flares, and you wore your hair in an afro, and you thought you were cool. Like, you copped on.
Yeah, I had the perm. I had the perm when I was 18, and an afro comb. Do you remember the afro combs? What was that all about?
Well, we thought we were cool at the time, you see. We thought we were super cool. But now you look back and you think, you just see the pictures and you think, what was I wearing that for?
And why was I using it? Why was I using an afro comb?
And why did we want curly hair? Like, what was this?
Yeah, I know.
But it is of the time. But it goes across all classes. There's no such thing as a lower section of society, or everybody seems it goes across all barriers now. Tattooing.
Yeah. Okay. And so you think the stigma's gone now, do you?
Me personally, I'm an owl one, and I'd be very, resistant. I'd actually like to look at them. I don't mind them at all now, if I'm honest.
Right, okay. Well, do me a favour. Stay there just for a second. Let me just go to Siobhan. You're in Ireland's Classic Hits Radio. How you doing, Siobhan?
Hi, Niall. How are you?
I'm good, Siobhan. How are you?
I am good. Did you miss me?
Were you gone?
The cheeky Niall. That's it. We're done. I'm going to switch over to 98 FM.
That's like a really bad threat, isn't it? Well, let's be clear about this. If you do, you'll be on your own.
I will, yeah.
I believe, by the way, nighttime on 98 FM, it's great at Christmas because they can send all their listeners a Christmas card, and it doesn't take long. I'm joking. So Siobhan, when you say that I missed you, were you away?
Well, I wasn't. I tell you what, I've had a couple of disasters. I broke my phone, so it's gone off to get repaired. So I'm on a different number, and then I tore a fingernail off. So it's all been.
You broke a fingernail.
But I tell you what I did. I dropped the lever arch file when I was in work last week, and I went to catch it, and it bent back my acrylic nail. I cut my own fingernail with it. So, God. And then just there earlier this week, I was opening the office door to let somebody else in, and it just caught on a lock underneath the door, and then it lifted the whole thing back up.
Whoa.
I had to go yesterday.
I can see it. I can see it.
I was telling people in work that because I'm in a new job, I started my new job, yeah. So I was saying to one of the girls in the office, that's what my boss does when you put an invoice up wrong. She starts pulling your fingers.
Oh, that's right.
Off.
You were telling me you were starting a new job that you don't have to do the 2 shifts anymore now. You can just have to do the one.
No.
Great. That's great. I'm delighted. Well, I hope it's going well for you. I hope you like the new job.
I love it. Very nice people. I'm getting on great. Double the money, so I'm happy.
Well, then let's retract that. I did miss you.
Yeah, I know you did.
Okay.
You were just saying tough.
I was pining. We were actually just killing time for the last week until you came back on again.
I wonder how many people have...
Bernie is just a filler. Till Siobhan comes on. Honest to God, John would have rang Bernie and said, listen, Bernie, any chance you can stay on for a while just till we get Siobhan? That's what we normally say to people every night.
I'd say most of your listeners are hot.
Well, I've got the news in 2 minutes, so you better make your point quick. Mind you, I'm going to get you back on after the news now for the crack. But anyway, Siobhan, tattoos, is there a stigma attached to them?
There is a stigma. There'll always be a stigma. There'll always be a stigma attached to something that you wouldn't do yourself. There'll just always be that, because people will always be people. But I tell you what, one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life had tattoos up and down both of his arms, and had a neck tattoo.
Okay.
And when I tell you that he was one of the nicest people I've ever met, I genuinely mean that. If you were, say if Bernie was on the side of the road and she was broken down, everybody would drive past you, but this person, a lovely, lovely person. And then another person that I've known, the most wicked person I've ever met in my whole life, or ever hoped to meet, was suited and booted and had a brilliant job and looked every bit, the respectable person, would never stop and help you if you were struggling, and was a nasty, nasty individual, So, really,
so you're saying you can't judge by appearance?
You can't judge by appearance, and you shouldn't judge by appearance. This is how I live
But
my life.
we do naturally do it. We profile people, don't we?
But if I'm getting served by somebody in the supermarket and they've got tattoos, I can see the tattoos, but I have no opinion of the tattoos. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It just would not cross my mind. Nothing about an individual would sort of make me judge them. It just wouldn't. I live my life, you live your life. We're all out here stuck in this horrible rat race. You know what I mean? So you just live your life how you want to live it. Do to your own body what you want to do. Now, I wouldn't have tattoos just because personally I don't feel the need for one. But there might be some things I do somebody's going to judge me for. I don't care. I'm a nice person. If you're going to judge me because of something I'm wearing or how I look, do I want to know you? No, not really. Yeah. Not really.
Well, I judge you because you only got 9 fingernails. But apart from that...
Well, at least I get a discount now when I go and get my nails done.
10% off. Yeah.
You have to look on the bright side of life, don't you?
Sorry, Bernie.
The worst thing, I think, for me personally, I think worse than tattoos is when your fake tan goes wrong and it's streaking.
Oh,
That's
Jesus, yeah.
Tattoos. You're walking thinking you're looking gorgeous, you look around and there's half your back of your leg missing,
Oh, yeah. There's nothing worse than seeing some young one with the dirty hands. The dirty back of their hands and the dirty ankles from the fake tan.
Oh, yeah. That drives me gaga now.
Do you wear fake tan, Bernie?
I try. Yeah, I do it on my legs, and if I'm going anywhere special, not all the time, but I like to have a bit of colour if I'm honest.
Siobhan, do you do the fake tan?
No.
Yeah, what is the obsession with white people wanting to look darker?
It makes you look nicer, doesn't it? If you're going
Does it? I don't know. No, I kind of like palish skin. I don't mind pale skin. There's nothing wrong with it.
Look, it covers up a multitude of, them old freckles that are gone a bit hairy looking,
the age, you're talking about age spots, Bernie. Freckles.
That's what you call them. Yeah, well, it just makes them look lovely and clean and nice and, like you were out there.
Yeah, I've noticed, by the way, I don't have freckles, right? But I've noticed over the last couple of years, I've started to get little freckles all over the back of my hands.
Oh, that's when driving. That drives me gaga.
Yeah, that's what the doctor said to me, because I went to the doctor and thought, I better get them checked. And she said, I'll send you off to skin specialist. Sent me off. Anyway, Beaumont Hospital, she burnt off a few of them and said, look, they're grand. She said, do you drive a motorbike? I said, no, I don't. Do you drive a car in the sun? And I said, well, as much as the sun is in Ireland, I suppose I do, yeah. And she said, yeah, try and keep your hands at the side of the steering wheel or wear gloves. And I said, right. Yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah, I did get gloves. I did get gloves, just light ones to wear when I'm driving, because they're terrible when
they're sunspots, are they?
Yeah, they're beauty spots on your hands.
Oh, that's beauty spots. See, I'm gorgeous. There you go. Yeah. Anyway, Siobhan, I'm going to get you back after the break. Bernie, listen, thank you very much indeed. Appreciate you coming on the air tonight. Siobhan, if you want to hang on, Siobhan, you can just hang on.
I'm
all right?
hanging.
Yeah, because I need to free up the lines.
Enjoy your new job, Siobhan. It was nice, lovely to hear you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I hope your nail grows back. All right, we'll be back to Siobhan in a second, yeah, because Siobhan says the nicest person she's ever met, ever, is a person covered in tattoos. Would you judge somebody with tattoos? Let me know what you think.
Nighttime Talk with Niall Boylan. Call us now on 0818 942 105.
Ireland's Classic Hits Radio.
A lot of people there disagree. A lot of people disagreeing with you, Siobhan.
Why?
They're just saying that although your best friend or this person might be the salt of the earth, and I'm sure they are, that the idea that you're saying that there's no stigma to it or there shouldn't be, that they're saying that you sometimes can judge the book by the cover. You know what I mean?
Wow. You're going to judge somebody just because they've got a tattoo? You're going
Well, no,
to
not just a tattoo, I suppose. Yeah, I'm not just a tattoo. But, you know, you're walking down the road, right? Okay?
Yeah.
And you see three gougers. Oh, sorry, now I've loaded the question. Sorry. You see three people, three men. All right?
Right.
And they're on the right-hand side of the road. And they're in jeans, T-shirts, tattoos, pink hair, I don't know, right? And on the other side of the road, right, there's three fellas in suits.
Yeah.
And you're a little bit cagey. Which side of the road are you going to walk on?
I'm going to walk in the middle of that road, so I am now.
What I'm saying is,
That's what-
most people do judge. We're probably wrong. The three fella in the jeans and T-shirts and the tattoos are probably the nicest people on the earth. The other three are bankers and rob you blind. But what I'm saying is, we could be wrong, but a lot of the time you could be right.
Now, I'll tell you, the first time I ever laid eyes on this person that I'm talking about, I live on a corner, and I was putting the key into my front door, maybe 10:30 one evening,
Yeah.
and this person walked around the corner, now I couldn't see the tattoos at that time, the collar of the coat was up, and they had one of those little black, burglar hats on, little woolly hat. And I was like, oh God, he looks a bit dodgy. And just because his face looked a bit dodgy, I ended up being in an 8-year relationship with that person, So, and this is the person that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I see how he definitely was treated differently because of his appearance. And we would go to Tesco. I might need to fly down and get stuff for kids' lunches or whatever. And I'm talking about the little Clearwater Tesco, not the little Tesco, but the big Clearwater Tesco here near where I live. And we'd be going over to the Bread, which is the opposite corner to the entrance where the security guards would be. And the next thing, we'd be turning around over there. There wouldn't be another soul in the shop maybe. And we turned around and the security guard would be right on top of us. Yeah, and that used to irritate me a little bit.
But that's because security guards, by their very nature, they profile.
Absolutely, they've looked at him, and
by the way, they can be wrong. I'm sure, absolutely, they can be wrong.
It was wrong, absolutely.
But they are trained, and a lot of the time they're right. Sometimes you can judge the book by the cover. Sometimes.
Well, yes, you can. I can't deny that. Yes, you can. Of course, you can. But it would take a little bit more than a tattoo for me to,
But here's the thing. If people realise, and everybody in the world knows, that there's a bit of a stigma to having tattoos, right? Everybody knows that. Whether the stigma is right or wrong is irrelevant. We all know that. Why would you put yourself at a disadvantage in life by covering yourself in tattoos?
Are you putting yourself at a disadvantage?
Yeah, well, you were. If you want to walk, well, you're less likely to get a job, front of house in a 5-star hotel if you're covered in tattoos.
Yeah, but do you want a job like
No,
that?
probably not. But I'm just saying, you're less likely. I mean, it wouldn't
Probably
matter for me, for example. No one sees me. Well, they do
No.
actually during the day in my podcast, but that's a different thing altogether.
It would not bother me. I think we were all just plunked on planet Earth and told, get on with it. And that's it. So we're all here just doing our best and getting through life, Why would you judge somebody just because they've got a tattoo? I just wouldn't do it.
Like if Anton Deck got tattoos up their neck, they're not. I guarantee you, the ITV wouldn't be hiring them for family entertainment.
Probably not. Probably not. But,
maybe I'm wrong.
That's all down to money and contracts and all that crap, isn't it?
Yeah.
But no, I wouldn't judge anybody. I don't judge anybody for the house they live in, the job they have, the car they drive. No way.
I actually think Anton Deck are robots. Actually, I don't think they're real.
They're two dopes, is what they are.
Well, yeah. But they don't seem to age. They just look like they're young fellas.
Well, they've got the money, but they're not growing any taller. That's for sure.
They're not. But they're not getting older or anything like that. It's kind of, they're very straight. It's like they're stuck in time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, they're around what? It's got to be 30 years now or something. I remember watching Biker Grove.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Started off.
That must be 30 years ago. Yeah.
Must be 30 years ago because I'm 43 now, and I remember watching that when I came in from school.
And then they were a band. Do you remember they had their own pop band at one stage, Anton Deck?
Yes, they were called Anton Deck. And let's get ready to rumble and all that. But
yeah.
look where it's led them.
Yeah,
Look where it's led them.
Okay, we'll stay there for a second. Let me go to Tim. Tim, you're on Ireland's Classic Hits Radio. Tim, who's in Dallas in Texas as we speak. Yeah.
Go Longhorn.
So, Tim.
Yeah.
First question. Are you delighted that Ron DeSantis is running for president of America?
I want a do-over on everybody.
Right, Tim.
Republican.
Because you're in Texas and we're here, there's a slight delay. I know this is the year 2023, but there's going to be a slight delay in our phones, right? So we go through this as best we can. Tattoos in general, is there a stigma attached to them?
Yes. Doesn't bother me. But if you're going out to apply for a job somewhere, you got, like you said, two candidates equally qualified. One's dressed like they care about the job and the other isn't. That, to me, it's a slam dunk. Person wants the job more is one who's going to dress up for it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't go. I wouldn't be going. He's right, Siobhan. I wouldn't be going to the interview with pink hair, trendy clothes and tattoos up my neck and piercings in my ears.
No,
well,
well,
you wouldn't look good with pink hair anyway.
I know. Sorry, Tim's delay is causing a bit of problem, but I don't mind because he's in Texas. Yeah. So,
hook 'em horn.
I'd love to live in Texas. You know the way Americans have this view that all Irish people go around and we don't have computers or cars and we all go around on horse and carts. I have this view of Texas of everybody going around on horses with sheriff's badges on them. Yeah. Tim, do you have a horse? Do you even have a horse?
No. No. Too urbanized, but I sure would love to be out where I could have one, that's for sure.
What was that TV show years ago with the detective, McLeod? Do you remember McLeod?
Oh, yes, I do. That was Dennis Weaver, I think.
That's right, yeah, and he had a horse, and he was living in Texas, and he was in the city, but he went around on a horse, chasing the baddies like in a car with his horse.
Well, in Dallas traffic, you can get around faster with a horse anyway.
So, Tim, I mean, I don't know how popular tattoos are in Dallas and Texas, but I'm sure they just as popular as they are here. People are covered in the damn things.
Oh, yeah. My daughter's got 2 or 3. They're all reasonable, like Mickey Mouse and stuff. There's nothing gross, but it doesn't bother me. I just wouldn't want somebody to come in asking for a job looking like they just got out of a nightclub.
And when your daughter was getting the tattoos, did you express an opinion? Did you say, I wouldn't do that, honey?
Yeah, exactly. Took the words right out of my mouth, but she did it anyway.
She did it anyway.
She was an adult then, 18, 19, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Young enough to not know any better, but old enough to make the decision for herself.
Yeah, and you can warn them all you like, but particularly at 18, they just don't listen. They say the brain doesn't really mature till you're 25. And then what happens is, when you're 25, Siobhan, you start to regret it.
Yeah.
And then you're off to another clinic to see can you get them removed again.
Well, I know my brain wasn't fully developed at 25 because I got married at 24, so I can absolutely confirm that. I think it's actually 28, to be honest. You know? But, yeah, I can see why somebody wouldn't want somebody coming in covered in tattoos for a job, because there is a stigma attached to it. Because years and years ago, you associated tattoos with people that were, a bit rough, a bit
hardened, a bit hard.
Council estates, unemployment, and for a time maybe that was true, but I don't think that can be said for today.
Certain types of tattoos. These people who have tattoos on their fingers like love and war. And then a lad with a snake with a dagger or something like that. You know what I mean? That's a bit of a tough guy thing, isn't it?
Well, I suppose it looks that way, but if you sat down and spoke to him, you'd have a different opinion of him walking away from him. And it might be totally different than the judgment that you had at first,
I knew a guy who got 2 tattoos of swallows under his eyes. Hang on, why would you do that? Why?
Why would you do that? Yeah. Now, I don't understand why people get tattoos on their face. I don't, because it's your face, isn't it? And as you age, that tattoo's going to change, isn't it? But
Yeah. Well, by the way, sorry, just before I let Tim go, because I know there's a bit of a delay between us, it makes it awkward. But Tim, who are you going to vote for in the next presidential election?
That person hasn't emerged yet.
Oh, who?
Man, yeah, guy I want the same guy I wanted first time around, and Martin O'Malley from Maryland, but he got run over by the Hillary Express, and he hasn't come out since. So
I heard a vicious rumor that Hillary might be coming back.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
That was Derry Ann in the background, I think. So yeah, I genuinely heard a really bad rumor from somebody who's in the know that Hillary could be coming back, that Biden may be stepping away.
All right, for God's sake.
Yeah. So I'm coming to you in a second, Derry Ann. Wait. Sorry, go ahead, Tim.
Biden. I hope Biden doesn't run again, but hope that doesn't leave Kamala Harris in the.
She hasn't got a hope. Not a hope. Does she, or as they say in America, she has two hopes, none and Bob. So.
Yeah, well, it was wait. If Biden wins again within a year or two, she'll get it by default.
Biden, I don't think Biden's going to run again. I think it's going to be somebody else. Who's that guy from California again? I can't remember. His name's gone out of my head now at the moment. But anyway, the guy from California, I think he's in with a shout. Yeah. So anyway, thank you, Tim. Sorry, it was a bit of a delay, so it makes it difficult to have the conversation. Let me stay there, Siobhan. Let me just go to Derry Ann. Derry Ann, how you doing?
Hi, Niall. How are you? Sorry, I didn't know that was going to go out there.
Oh, that's okay. But we did hear you saying, oh, for sake.
Yeah, because I meant it. But anyway.
Because I mentioned Hillary.
Yeah, come on, give me a break.
Well, I heard it through, a good source. There's a possibility she may be coming back into the running again.
Yeah, of course. And so might your man.
Who?
Oh, your man that everybody knows that I shook his hand.
Who, Robert Kennedy?
No.
Who?
Oh, come on, back up nearer.
Where?
The man that's threatening to go back for president again. Oh, Niall, come on.
Who? I'm trying.
Trump.
Oh, Trump. Sorry. Oh, Donald Trump. What do you mean he's threatening? He is running for presidency again. He's not threatening to do it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't think it was so obvious, the answer to that question. Sorry.
No, but listen, get back to your tattoos.
Yeah, back to me tattoos.
Now, come here now. I'm going to say
right
something to you now.
Yeah.
You're going to have a big old birthday this year, right?
I am indeed, yeah. Yeah, September the 21st, if in case anyone wants to send me a present. Yeah.
And no, good for you. And I'll have one a couple of months later into the next year.
I'll be 6-0.
And, yeah, thank you. And I'm going to get me tattoo.
Oh, Jesus, Derry Ann.
Why? Who's going to see it? I'm going to have one that's... No,
but hang on, it's going to be a little bit awkward. Siobhan is back there with us. You can let number one go. Yeah, thanks. You can let line one go. Yeah, I know. But I'm thinking Derry Ann. Sorry, Siobhan. Derry Ann was telling me for her big birthday, she has a big birthday coming up soon, okay? I'm not allowed to tell you how old she is.
It's the big 2-1, Derry Ann, isn't it?
Well, I was going to tell you anyway. So, Derry Ann, you announce your age there, go on.
60.
Okay, so.
60.
Yeah. So she was thinking she might get a tattoo for her 60th birthday, but mind you...
No, it wasn't thinking.
Okay. It would be difficult for the tattoo artist because at that stage your skin is all loose and it'll be moving as he's trying to tattoo it.
Yeah, but listen, my tattoo... Listen, Niall, my tattoo is going to say... Now, think about this.
The Niall Boylan Show.
Well, I can put that in if you want.
Yeah, okay.
Keep off the grass.
Are you getting?
What kind of grass?
Yeah, I was going to say, where are you getting the tattoo? Down beside your gadget?
Well, where you won't see it, or you'll be lucky to see it.
Siobhan, she's getting a tattoo on her gadget.
She said right to do what she wants. Turning 60.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, would you get it? Would you get a tattoo on your gadget?
No, if I look down, I can't see my gadget. There's a belly in the way. So if I look down, I don't have to look at it. That's for sure. But no, I definitely wouldn't.
Keep off the grass.
But Niall, at this stage, why not? And why not even?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, exactly. And why not, Niall, even add into that? I joined the Mile High Club.
Oh, you told us about that the other night, yeah.
I know I did. I know I did.
Yeah,
but
no, I'm
why
just
not
saying.
get that into the tattoo?
Into the tattoo as well. Jason, there's going to be a big space here putting the Niall Boylan show, Keep Off the Grass, and I'm in the Mile High Club, all in the one tattoo.
Well, okay.
It
But
must
this
be a-
is a
must be a
person
big
the body,
gadget.
you won't see it.
There's a lot of gadget going on there, isn't there? Yeah.
But at that stage, Niall, am I going to worry about my skin wrinkling up and all the rest? Not at all.
No.
And for the record, I will leave a video for my funeral. And
A video
I
of what?
will-
Of your tattoo?
No, a recording of me talking and telling my grandkids of those tattoos. Because at that stage, my grandkids who are...
I don't think your
all over
grandkids
the
are going to
world-
want to see a video of your tattoos and your gadgets.
No, I'd never show them those, but I would tell them why I did it.
Right.
Why not?
Siobhan, if you were to leave a video for your grandkids,
Yeah.
what would you be saying on it? I was a regular on the Niall Boylan show.
Probably, but I'll probably be like, I'll see you later in the dark when you're just going to bed or something like that, you know?
I'd scare the shit out of you.
Pick them up a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you did. I know what you're up to. Yeah, I'll be watching.
Yeah.
You watch what you do. Because I'll be watching.
So,
Derry-Ann,
Derry-Ann, just before you head off to Noddyland there, what was I going to say to you? Would you judge somebody? I know you're going to get a little tattoo.
No, definitely not. And I'll tell you why, Niall.
Yeah.
Because when I joined the Trolley Dolly team, which you know what I'm talking about, right?
We all know. We've spoken about your Aer Lingus career many times on the radio. It's not like it's a secret.
No.
She said that to me like it was a secret.
But we
on.
had a doctor. Hold on, we had to go through a medical thing, and we had a doctor. And my younger sister joined because I dragged her into the thing, and she had a scar on her left arm where she had dislocated her left shoulder, and that doctor measured her scar to see if it came beyond we had short sleeve blouses in those days, and had her scar gone beyond the short sleeve thing, she wouldn't have got the job.
Oh, I know.
I
You
kid
see,
you
you could,
not.
yeah, well, they could do that in those days.
No, but that doesn't mean it was good enough.
Yeah, I know. They wouldn't do that nowadays. You know, you'd be taken to court if you discriminated against
Yeah,
them.
but why not then allow people to have tattoos? When I go into Lidl, I often go up to the counter, and I see these guys with these amazing tattoos, and I always admire them and say to them, "Oh my God, where'd you get that?" And they'll tell me the story about why they got the tattoo. And,
Well, like that was
you
for a
know,
girlfriend I met once. This is me mother died. This is the lyrics to a song.
No, Niall.
No.
I can tell you 100% of them have nothing to do with girlfriends. And I just think, and I admire Lidl for allowing them through adult or
Well, they all allow them, but it's just a case of whether people judge you. There's no law against having a tattoo.
Well, how dare we judge them, Niall? How dare we?
Okay. It's me told off now for the night.
Do you
Niall,
judge,
come
Niall?
on.
Sorry, Siobhan, what are you trying to say, Siobhan?
Do you judge people? Be
No,
honest.
no,
Do you
I
judge them?
genuinely don't, actually. I
Well,
don't.
then
No, I bet you-
why did you...
I brought it up because it was because it was online. There was a story online today about it. That's all. That's the reason I mentioned it. Wouldn't be me.
Imagine
But now
judging
you
somebody
said
because they
you'd
have-
never get a tattoo.
Here's the thing, but we do judge people all the time. We judge people by their accents as well.
Yeah.
I give you an example. I give you an example, right? Let's say you ring up the bank and you want to know something about your bank account, right? So you ring up.
Yeah.
Let's just say it was Bank of Ireland. You ring, and you hear, "Hello, Bank of Ireland. How can I help you?" And you go, how you doing? Yes, I wonder, could I check something in my account? Okay, and give me your account number, please. And you say, ends in 432. Okay. And can I have the first number of your PIN, the third number of your PIN, the fifth number of your PIN? You feel fine. That's everything okay? You feel safe, right?
Okay. No.
No, wait, will you wait? I haven't finished yet. So then you ring Bank of Ireland the next day, right? And you go, all right, Bank of Ireland, what's the story? And you go, what? Give us your account number and your PIN number, will you? Now, between me and you, right? You know what I mean? There's a bit of a difference, isn't there? Now, I'm sure the guy with the accent is the salt of the earth. I'm sure he is. But you are thinking to yourself, should I be really giving this lad me PIN number?
Yeah,
No, you're not.
that's terrible. Terrible.
Terrible.
Oh, Siobhan, he is terrible now to say that.
A wind-up merchant, Anne, is what he is. I tell you what, that fella would probably look at my bank balance and say, Jesus, Siobhan, you'll never get through the week on that. And you'll put a decimal in place.
Well, hang on both of you for a second. Let me just go to Gavin. How you doing, Gavin? You're on Ireland's Classic Hits Radio. How you doing, Gavin? Oh, geez.
Gavin works for the Bank of Ireland.
He's answering.
Oh, Niall, you mean John?
What?
You mean John?
John, is it? Who's on?
Yeah, John, how are you now?
Yeah, how are you? Sorry, I didn't know who was there. Who's there? What's your name? Sorry.
It's John. John from Virginia.
Okay,
John from Raheny, now living in Virginia.
Yeah, he has you down on the screen as Gavin from Virginia. John.
I know. It must have been the accent, you know. You got those English guys on answering the phones now at Scott.
See, this is the problem when you hire the English. You know what I mean? You can't get a good English fella.
Careful.
I'll deal with him after the show. John, what's the story? Do you judge people? Is John?
No,
what's the story, John? Is John on the same wavelength as the rest of us here? Are you on the same wavelength? John, are you on the same wavelength?
I don't know. After listening to all that chatting about gadgets and stuff, I don't know. It kind of threw me a little bit.
Oh, here, by the way, I've just figured out, are you actually in Virginia right now?
Yeah, Virginia, Cabin.
Yeah.
Cabin.
No, Virginia in America.
Virginia in America.
That's why there's a delay.
Oh, Virginia, America. You've spoken.
Yeah, I did speak to you before, John. I remember you now. Sorry, John. Yes, John O'Driscoll is the man's name.
Yeah.
I do remember him. How are you, John?
Yep. I'm surviving, doing the best, doing my best.
Do you know what, John? When I'm talking to somebody, see, I have to talk over him, unfortunately, because of the delay. But when I'm talking to somebody in America on the phone, and yet here we are, as I said, it's the year 2023. We talk to America, we still have this slight delay, right? And it always reminds me of my father when he used to ring me Uncle Arthur in New York in 1979 when we first got a telephone, and he'd ring him, and he always shouted on the phone. I don't know what that was all about, because I think my father thought he had to hear him from the other side of the world, right? But my father would go, "Hello, Arthur."
Yeah.
And then there was this silence. "How are you?" And then it's, "What was the weather like over there? What time is it?" It was always the same questions. I don't know what that was about. Sorry, John.
Yeah.
I digress.
No, it was always the same thing when my mother used to call. I was living with my nana, but she'd call and it was the same thing. I always ask about the weather. What time is it? Nothing changed. All the same.
Yeah. So, John, would you judge people with a tattoo? Would you judge somebody with a tattoo?
No. And I'm not going to lie. Before I used to, because I'm 52 now. So, it used to be when you were growing up, if you saw somebody with the hoop in their ear or the tattoos, you always thought they were the tough lads. They're the ones you didn't mess around with. They're always something behind them,
Yeah.
And then even when I moved to England in the 80s, and the only people I saw with the tattoos over there were either the skinheads or the punks up around Camden or up around Carnaby Street and everything in London. So you always had that kind of impression. But as I said when I called in earlier, it was like it seems now here in America, the people with the tattoos seems to be more the hipster IT crowd, the computer programmers and the web people. They're the ones with the piercings in their nose and their eyebrows, tattoos all over their arms. And some of them are smart as a whip.
Yeah.
You can't believe how smart they are, and, really, really nice people once you start chatting with them. But, I think if you're at it, I'm not trying to be judgmental of age, but I think some of us at a certain age, can look at them and kind of go, yeah, what we remember when we were growing up, because, the only ones with the tattoos were the tough lads back then.
Yeah.
But it's changed. But, even over here, though, Niall, everybody thinks in the military here have changed the entrance requirements in relation to tattoos, where you have them and what they are. So, depending on some tattoos, you can be prevented from either joining the military if they're visible, when your sleeves are rolled up, or if they're visible on your neck. So,
why? In case the message, is that because in case the message on the tattoo is offensive or something like that?
Yes, yeah, in case it's offensive, and they're not only looking at offensive to the public here, but if they're in deployment in another land that doesn't necessarily like tattoos, but they've got tattoos that could be offensive to the culture or to the religion or whatever
of course.
in that country.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah, so they have to look at it that way too, and it's a melting pot. So you have people from every demographic and race going into military too, and you don't want to be offending somebody, who's possibly your battle buddy with offensive tattoos. So, it kind of swings both ways. I used to, and then, my son's got a lot of tattoos. Sean had tattoos.
Yeah. And by the way, sorry, before I end the call, because unfortunately it's a difficult conversation always with people in America, because unfortunately we get a slight delay in the system that we use here in the radio station. But anyway, at the moment in Virginia, at this very moment in time, I am going to ask you what time it is. It's 6 hours behind, I imagine. But what is the weather like?
6:30, yeah. Right now it's 77 degrees and humid.
Okay.
Yeah, but what's that in our language?
What's that in our language?
Huh? I'm getting there.
I did, Siobhan, you cheeky old thing. 77 degrees in our language. So I'm trying to... Sorry?
Siobhan, it's 25. It's 25, Siobhan.
Nice.
So what? Oh wait. I'm trying to remember the rule for changing from Celsius to Fahrenheit. It's you double it and add 36. Is it?
Something like that.
Yeah.
32.
32. Is it double 36?
Or you take away 32.
Yeah, well, that's to go back the other way. Yeah, you take away 32 and half it, but you double it and add 36. I think that's or 32, whatever it is. Yeah, that's how you get it. Sorry, Siobhan. Yes, because he's in America, Siobhan. He's in a faraway land.
Yeah, I'm not in Cavan.
Not in Cavan.
Stay there. Actually, John.
I'm not in Cavan there.
John, unfortunately, I'm going to have to let you go there. The delay is difficult sometimes to deal with. But listen, I wish you well. Thank you very much indeed for contacting us, John. And we know we've listeners all over the world, Irish people all over the world who listen online. Let me go to another John Cahill, who's actually here in Ireland. Hello, John. Oh, Jay.
Hello, Niall.
Yeah, how are you doing?
Good now, Niall. How are you keeping?
Good. Now, tattoos.
With regard to tattoos, I don't have a major problem with tattoos, but I do probably judge people in the quality of their tattoos.
Right.
Some people do spend exceptional. I saw out in Legendland and Galway a few years ago, there was a woman in her 30s, and she had a tattoo going from her ankle up to her shoulders, and it was kind of like birds of paradise and trees and that. Now, it must have cost thousands, but it was so well. It was like a work of art, and it was on her back and up the back of her, right, the whole length of her body was huge.
Right.
But it was so well done. It was absolutely outstanding,
And I want to know how you knew it was the whole length of her body. Did you saw her whole length of her body, did you?
Bikini in the
bikini. Sorry. Oh, so right. Okay, get you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'd say she might have been a fitness instructor or a bodybuilder. No, she was in her 30s. She had kids there with her.
Yeah.
It was outstanding. But then I saw another tattoo online, and if your listeners can, how could I say it? If they can imagine this, it was a man, and he was outside a pub having a pint, and he had a beer belly, and he had a beautiful picture. Now, it was a really well done tattoo of a cat on his stomach.
Oh, jeez.
A picture, just an ordinary cat on his stomach, and the cat was kind of walking away, looking back. So there was he had a tattoo, lovely tattoo. But the cat's asshole was your man's belly button.
You knew that was coming, Siobhan, didn't you?
I knew that was coming.
The cat's asshole was his belly button.
I sent you actually a picture. I don't know if the operator there got it, but Yeah, tattoos. I don't like tattoos on people's faces. Like, it depends on the tattoo. Like, if it's a swastika on your neck, like, it's going to be trouble, you know. But in generally speaking,
well, it's illegal, by the way, in most countries to get a tattoo of a swastika.
Yeah.
And by the way, rightly so.
Right. So yeah, wasn't that a peace sign or something? The swastika. I don't know.
I don't know. Yes, it wasn't purposed for the war or for Hitler. It was there. It was around before that. Well, it was a different version of it. Was around before that. And by the way, there's this whole argument about how you pronounce the word swastika. Is it swastika or swastika? There's a whole argument. Yeah. Sorry, John. Do you say swastika or swastika?
I don't know what I say. I just say
okay.
swastikas. Well, I don't know. I just like.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, but anybody who gets tattooed with swastika is asking for trouble, and you're not going to get a job anywhere.
I'm not into the Nazi thing and that, even though I did wind up with lads years ago on the morning show on Classic Hits with, I don't know, was it Steve? What's your man's name that used to have the newspaper?
Who?
Oh.
Who?
Huh?
Oh, yeah. Oh, the PJ lad.
PJ, and then these be on in the morning. I rang up, I texted him in the morning saying that it was the 20th of April and that it was Adolf Hitler's birthday.
Right.
And we'd all like to wish him a happy birthday and Heil Hitler. And he got a great laugh out of it, like.
Well, he would have, yeah, because it was meant to be funny, I suppose, in a humorous way. But I suppose a lot of people wouldn't find it humorous, but whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so John, generally speaking, would you judge people with tattoos?
Yeah, I probably would. I try not to. Try not to.
But you probably would.
You would. Some people, you know, and, you know, there's so many people. Everybody's getting tattoos now. In years to come, it's going to be the people that don't have tattoos that are going to be popular people, you know. Like, if I went on to Irish Escorts and I was looking for an escort, I'd probably go for one that didn't have a tattoo.
Right.
You know?
But by the way, can I just point out, there's a very odd text in here. Sorry for just digressing, John. I do apologise, and thank you very much indeed, John, for your call tonight. But there's an odd text in here that says, "Hi, Niall. If Siobhan were to set up a phone line reading the alphabet, she'd bankrupt me."
Oh, that's so nice. It's not John from Tip, is it?
It is a guy called John.
Oh, my God. It might be John from Tip because sometimes after I've been on,
and he says, P.S. I'm heavily tattooed. My sleeves aren't visible when I wear a shirt and work in IT. So I don't know.
Oh, that's John, and be proud of who you are.
Yeah, but he said if you read the alphabet on the phone line, you know, is he insinuating that you have some sort of sexy voice or something like that? That's probably what he's insinuating, is it?
Well, I could throw out a few ABCs now if you want.
Well, you could. I suppose you could do. Like, if we wanted to make a bit of money out of it, maybe we could have. John, let's ask my producer. Do we have a premium rate phone number that we can use here for this? And you could do. You just go A, B,
C.
D.
You know what, now? There's three ideas there.
Yeah. What's that ad? You know the ad. Call us now, 1550 7158, or whatever it is. Girls over Ireland are waiting to take your calls.
Well, I think I'd be more suited to like a professional advert, don't you think so, Niall? Like, you know. Well, and so I've got a bone to pick with you actually, because I'm always hearing, you know, your little snippets that when you're advertising your show, and I've never been on one.
Which one?
So you sort that out, Mr. Boylan. You know when you're advertising your show throughout the day, listening.
No, that's the podcast. That's a different thing. That's not on the radio.
No, it isn't. It's definitely because it would be like Neve and other people that I've heard on.
There's one or two people who cross over who listen to both. Yeah, that's because they're that's because they're loyal, Siobhan. Unlike you.
Oh. The level of abuse that I do, though, now. You ask yourself that, huh?
Siobhan, you're very welcome. You're very welcome to get involved at any stage if you want to. Siobhan, it's been lovely to talk. Oh, are you heading off to bed now, Siobhan?
No.
Are you late?
I've got to clean my kitchen, hang out 2 loads of washing, and I've just absolutely loads today because I've done nothing all evening. Well, I did a few bits, but then I'm going to let my son and you know, so I have a few little bits to do now.
And what time is bedtime for Siobhan?
I'm a night owl, so God, I could be up for ages, yeah.
2,
I could
3.
be up to maybe 3, 4. I'm devil, I'm terrible.
Right.
Yeah, I love the quiet.
I'm a bit like that. No, I have some myself and Karen are a bit like that myself now. You know, I'll finish and then it'll be Coronation Street and a bowl of popcorn and maybe, you know, silliness. You know?
Yeah. No, I don't. Well, you've got your sofa, your bed downstairs now, so I'd say that's keeping you busy, is it?
Yeah. Sorry. Oh, yeah. Sorry, John has just said something in my ear there and I have no idea what he said because you were talking to me at the same time, so it gets very complicated as a radio presenter. Siobhan, lovely talking to you. See ya.
No, I'm not going yet. There's 20 more minutes. No.
Well, you can stay there if you like.
No, I'm going to go because I'm actually on my daughter's phone. She's giving me evils here.
All right, okay. Siobhan, lovely talking to you. Have a sweet dreams, as they say. All right. Thanks.
Mind yourself. Take care.
See ya. Bye. Bye.
Real people, real opinions.
Real Talk Radio. The multi-award winning Niall Boylan Show.
Ireland's classic hits.
McCarthy Insurance Group, serving the community for over 70 years. For home, farm, motor, life, health and business insurance, log on to mig.ie or free phone 1800 50 11 11. Probably your best call in 2024. Charles McCarthy Insurance is trading as McCarthy Insurance Group, is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.